Nation. What a crazy, crazy, crazy weekend. AP says he wants to be a power, physical, violent team, but I believe you have to have a physical, violent offensive line and physical, violent running backs to be a violent, physical team. So stick around. Let's break down the sad, sad, sad day. But there is hope.
Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
You know what I like to do? Just follow me on this one.
Man, oh man, oh man. We started off last week by saying, damn, it feels good to be a Raider. But this week, that's a whole different story, right? It does not feel good to be a Raider. The fans showed out, blacked out most of the stadium, was pretty loud until it got out of hand, which is no excuse. It still should have been loud, but I'm sure everybody was just absolutely shocked that the Panthers and Andy Dalton, who hasn't played a snap in over a single year, can come in and just pick us apart like that. I hate to say I told you so, so I won't. But man, I got lots and lots of scrutiny for saying, speaking of scrutiny, welcome to Monday Night Scrutiny, the nobody that's in here. But I got lots and lots of scrutiny saying it was a trap game. I explained why it was a trap game. The Raiders are known for losing games that we're supposed to win. I said, is it a new culture? Have times changed? This would be the game to find out. And obviously, no. Yes, it's a new culture. Yes, it's a different mindset, but it's the same old Raiders, just different faces, right? I mean, we got Christian Wilkins on the defensive line, and our defense seems to be worse. But let's not forget we started out absolutely horrible on defense, except for the first game against the Broncos. You know, we held them to 6 points. I believe we won 17-16. You know, wasn't a great victory, but it was the first game of the season. We won. Then we went on, you know, kind of like that roller coaster that AP talks about that he doesn't want to go on, that we're already on and have been on with Gardner Minshew as our starting quarterback. We will get to that later. But man, something has to be done. There has to be change. And people, we will talk about it, as you've seen in the title, need to man up. By man up, what do I mean by man up? I mean be accountable. Stand 10 toes strong in your shit and be accountable for being the head coach. Now, we've heard in many pressers, in many interviews, AP says, you know, it's a player sport. It's about the players. Let them do their thing in the locker room. He don't even go in there. But there's got to be a time you have to be a head coach in the NFL. I know Mark Davis in the beginning said, we want you to, we don't need you to be an X and O's guys. We just want you to be a leader of men. Okay, well, that was last year when he took over as interim head coach. Now it's his job. He's the head coach. And you got to step up and be the head coach. You can't let all these coaches make all the decisions. And I'm not saying that he said he's letting the coaches coach. At one point or another, you have to step in and say, look, I'm the head coach. I don't like the way this is going. We have to change this. We have to change this, or whatever you want to do. And another thing is, you can't be stubborn, bro. Antonio Pierce is stubborn. Yes, that works maybe on the field as a player, but being a head coach, you can't be stubborn, bro. You have to be willing to change. I know you want to be smash mouth. I know you want to run the ball, but we don't have the team to do that. We have a team, obviously, that can pass block if somebody stays in the pocket, and we're not going to go into that right away. But that's where we're at. You want to know our identity? Our identity is to throw the ball down the field, because there are constantly guys open and they can't cover our receivers. Even if we don't run the ball, we can still pass these short passes out of the backfield if guys are covered. So there's, many options that can happen with this team. What's up? Salute. I ain't even have my shit on. Rundown, Al's goes, what's good? I mean, so, we have, can y'all hear me? Can anybody hear me? Am I just talking to myself? Nobody be able to hear me? That would suck ass. Yes, no, can somebody hear me? I hope so, man. I'm just talking myself away. Sweet. All right, so yeah, I've been in here talking about 7 minutes to myself, but yeah, I mean, we have plenty of options. For one, is changing the offensive line, which seemed to work pretty good in the second half. I thought JPJ would get into, Jackson Powers Johnson. Came in 21 snaps, pretty damn well. I don't know if he had one pressure maybe, but bro, that's not bad for missing all of camp that he missed and coming in doing better than an offensive lineman that had all of training camp and can't seem to block nobody. But I was really, really, really surprised to see him on the right side. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Were y'all surprised to see Jackson Powers Johnson come in on the right side? And for them to take out Munford, our best, I mean, not Munford, but to take out Parham, our best offensive lineman so far this year, and just put him on the bench and not even put him on the left side where he was last year and played very well, running the ball and passing the ball. I just don't understand these guys, bro. Completely don't understand the coaching. I don't understand the decisions. I don't understand the finger pointing. Like, come on. Some people made some business decisions. They play in the NFL. What the flip does that mean? Everybody make business decisions every time they step on the football field. Like, I mean, what does it mean to make a business decision? You're saying they didn't play, they weren't hitting, they gave up. I mean, yeah, you can expect that in the fourth quarter when you know there's no chance of coming back. And you can expect that from a team that has a quarterback that you don't know what he's going to get. You have absolutely no idea what you're getting in Gardner Minshew. You don't know if he's going to be the Gardner, Sweet. Oh, yeah, they packed it up way early. But you don't know if they're going to get the Gardner Minshew that came out in the fourth quarter, in week 3. But let's be real and honest with ourselves. Who thought we played well in week 2? I sure didn't. And if you follow me and watch my lives, I said we didn't play well enough to win that game against the Ravens. We had a couple things go our way, and we ended up with a victory. But this week, we didn't have much go our way. We got our asses handed to us. We got punched in the mouth from the get-go. And I think They just didn't have an answer. They were shocked. And then knowing that you have a quarterback that's up and down and on a roller coaster, you don't have a quarterback that's willing to pull the trigger and throw the ball, you have no chance of coming back. So they had to go away from the run. People are bitching about the run, saying we have no run game. Look, Carolina had 100 and whatever was 34 yards rushing on 28 carries, bro. Their longest rush was 14 yards. So we didn't do too bad at stopping the run. It was just they just kept pounding it down our throat. We ran the ball 13, 14, 15 times, I think. Not even 17 times. We ran the ball 15 or 16 times. 10. What's good, Cool Kev? We ran the ball 10 times with Zeus. And we ran the ball, I think, 3 or 4 times with Madison. So we ran the ball 15 times to their 28 attempts. And we had 40-something yards rushing. They gave up on the run. Yes, I know we were behind, but there were plenty of plays to be made. And once again, we have a quarterback that is just timid, scared to pull the trigger, and hit the open man. Like, I keep hating to go back because people know I'm an AOC fan, but the facts are just the facts, bro. Like, this dude has open guys and won't pull the trigger. And when he does, Devontae's not catching the ball. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we have to. I mean, I know what we have to do. I know exactly what we have to do. We have to pull the trigger when we have guys open. This offense isn't that bad, bro. I don't know why everybody's in and out dipping, but this offense isn't bad. You know, there's guys open constantly. If you watch tape, like I had to go back and watch the game. I made it through the first half, you know, had a couple clips. But, bro, if you go back and watch the game, there are guys constantly open up the field, and Minshew just will not pull the trigger. I seen him watch Trey Tucker. He looked, you know, looked to his first, went to his second option, which was Trey Tucker on the other side of the field. And as soon as he looked at him, he was already in his break, had his man beat, and the safety was 15 yards from him, and he would not throw the ball. He went back to the other side of the field, ended up taking a sack. Now, that shit is happening over and over and over again, and I don't care, Max Crosby, if you sit there and say you believe in Gardner Minshew. All you see from Gardner Minshew is when you're on the sidelines. You're not in the, unless you take it home with you, you're not in the film room watching tape on Gardner Minshew. You're in the film room watching tape on the defense and getting better at the defense. So you don't see all these plays that he's timid and not throwing the ball, bro, but I'm telling you, you're backing the wrong guy, bro. You're backing the wrong guy. And we had our longest run play was for 9 yards. Look, our O-line is not that bad. I'm telling you, in pass blocking, our offensive line is not that bad. He runs way too fast. If you sit there and watch the game over again, look at Andy Dalton. The pocket collapses around him, and he stays in there and throws the flipping ball. Gardner Minshew, the pocket collapses halfway to him, and he's running. He's not letting these guys finish their blocks and push the tackles away from him, push them to the outside, push them around him. That's what guys do in the NFL. If you watch the great quarterbacks in the NFL and the great linemen, they run these guys past their quarterback. He's not having faith in these guys, bro. Our interior line is work. Yeah, but look, Mumford been playing not too bad. Andre James is getting bull rushed over and over and over again. And we'll get to that later about the changes that need to be made with this team and what changes will be made. And about the business decision. What do y'all think about the business decision? Let me know your comments, whoever's in here still. Let me know what you think Antonio Pierce means by business decisions. You think it meant guys not playing, guys giving up, you know, guys acting like they were hurt, not going back in the game? I mean, I don't know. And another thing I didn't like, well, first, let me know your comments. Andre James gets bull rushed around nasty. Yeah, and he's on his knees a lot, falling down, blocking, tripping our guys, but it really is not his fault. He's learning a new system. Like, he's used to the power run. He did very, very well last year and the year before. Wasn't as great the year before in Josh McDaniel's system. That's why they signed him to a new contract. So if he can run, I mean, if he can pass block and run block in a power system, why are we not going back to a power system? Why are we not in a power system or running more power system? Why are we not running 12 personnel if we have a quarterback or we have an offensive line problem? I thought that was the whole reason. Besides, we have Brock Bowers, who they didn't throw the ball to but 4 times. Absolutely ridiculous. But, I thought we had offensive line problems, and that's why we were going with the 12 personnel, because we had 2 tight ends we could put on each side that are like pretty much another offensive lineman or another tackle out there, and give our quarterback time to throw. But that hasn't been the case. The only time they use 12 personnel is when they run, draw plays straight up the middle, bro. We can't continue to run draw plays and pass to the sideline and expect to beat any team in the NFL. Like I was saying before we played Carolina, and look what happened. We played one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they smacked us in the mouth and made us look absolutely ridiculous, like the same old Raiders. And all these guys that I said were gurus, quote gurus, that were idiots, are starting to look like they know what they're talking about. 6.5 games at this pace. I mean, bro, doesn't look far-fetched, right? I don't know. Let me know if I'm crazy. But I just think we definitely have a problem with the offensive line. But it's not blocking. It's guys out of position in the wrong spots. Like, you put JPJ on the right side when everybody thought he was playing on the left side. You take Parham out of the game, who's one of our best guards, who's been playing. He's one of our best linemen, PFF grade-wise percentage in both games, and even that half of the game, he didn't get hurt. They said there was no problems. Antonio Pierce's answer was he wanted to put JPJ in and give him some time. So why do you take out one of our best linemen and put him on the bench and don't put him on the other side? I don't understand that shit. Protect the Shield, Chris. What's good? What's good? If y'all don't already follow him, go follow him. JPJ is immediately our best lineman, and that is sad. I mean, yeah, I thought he looked very, very well for the little bit of time, but what do you think about him being on the right side, Chris? Were you surprised as much as I was that they took Parham out, put him on the bench, and put JPJ on the right side when everybody thought he was going to be on the left side, and Parham's not hurt, and Parham was our best guard going, our best lineman out there so far until they put JPJ in, I guess, but PFF-wise, he was our best lineman. So let me know, Chris, what do you think? You thought it was kind of odd that when they did bring JPJ in, they put him on the right side? So yeah, you're with me on the whole coaching thing then. Yeah, I'm starting to be sketched on this coaching. And I know you tripped out when I said AP's not sticking to his word. You said stand on 10 toes and call him a liar if he's a liar. But there's just a lot of stuff said that gets mixed around. And a lot of crazy shit that happens. Like, I really don't understand Parham being taken out and just sat on the sideline. When Whitehair's over there just getting pushed around. Not to mention Andre James, who was, again, just on roller skates, on his back, on his knees, on his side, pushed all over the entire field. Why didn't they put Parham at center? Didn't he play center when Andre James was hurt last year? And did pretty damn well, in my opinion. I didn't see him getting bull rushed or shoved around. Well, Whitehair has a Getsy scholarship. Yeah, but that's not helping us. That scholarship, Man, I know all kinds of people that have scholarships and are sitting at home that can't get jobs. So that scholarship don't mean shit to me, bro. He needs to get a damn some heart. That's what he needs to do. Him and Andre James and start getting bull rushed. Andre James got that bag and just fell apart like a lawn chair, folding up like a lawn chair like he did last year. Every time he gets bull rushed. It was funny. They even went and took a man off their practice squad and brought him up that was 320 pounds. And I forgot to talk about it before the game. It was in my notes and I didn't get to it. But, bro, they got a guy off their practice squad they brought up just for Andre James to bull rush that fool. Man, absolutely nuts. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So put Mumford in at center. Put JPJ where I guess at the right side if they're gonna put him there, and leave Whitehair at left guard, and let's see what happens with that. But however, I thought the offensive line played pretty well, but I thought they played better, you know, in garbage time, if you want to call it garbage time, when Gardner, when Gardner was benched, when he should have been benched, like in the third quarter, just my opinion, after the interception. Let me know, after the interception, do you think Gardner Minshew should have been benched or he should have been kept in the game? Like, because to me, after the interception, I seen enough. I mean, I seen enough the whole game. I seen enough the first 8 quarters that he played, and I seen enough that quarter. I mean, you're throwing behind guys. You're throwing the ball late on screens. Once again, I bitched about it last week. It's a screenplay, and you're taking 7-step drops. Who takes a 7-step drop on a screenplay? I know you got to let it set up, but come on, man. This is the NFL. You can't get away with that shit, and you won't get away with that. Damn, everybody's come in and dip. All right, well, much love. Thanks for the support. Um, but AP, man, Antonio Pierce. Let's go back to Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce is pointing fingers, saying the players gave up or whatever. People were making business decisions. Bro, I seen the two should have been interceptions. I'm not gonna lie with you. They 100%, they absolutely should have been interceptions, but they weren't picked. And the man stuck in there. He forgot about it, and he ended up scoring a touchdown. And I wouldn't be mad if Gardner Minshew threw it. I wasn't mad at the interception. I was mad that the interception was nowhere near Devontae. And the announcers are trying to say, oh, maybe they were on the wrong page. Bro, the ball was, for one, at his feet again. And there was plenty of passes that he threw at people's feet. And even the announcer in the game alluded to it more than once. Why is Gardner Minshew constantly throwing the ball at people's feet? So I'm not saying AOC's the savior, but it looked pretty good that when he walked us down the field. And yeah, those balls should have been picked, but there's a couple passes that Gardner threw that could have been picked and picked for touchdowns. So, dude, I absolutely agree with you. AOC threw the ball to the other team, and luckily it was dropped. Dude, he threw two on that drive that could have been picked, but they were not picked. And Carter Bradley does starting to look better. I mean, at least he can throw the ball on the run. But hey, Aiden O'Connell's touchdown was on the run, was it not? He got away, eluded pressure, and threw the ball on the run. Also, we ran the ball twice on 4th down, didn't get a yard. Aiden O'Connell was 76%, I believe, last year on 4th down conversions on the tush push when it was 4th and 1. I think there was only one he didn't get, but he got all the others, and I think we went like 6 or 7 times. I don't know. Look it up. Somebody drop it in the chat. But anyways, Aiden O'Connell moves his feet, bro. He can get those short first downs. He's taller. He's a little bit lengthier, and he moves his feet. So say he's a statue or not a statue, but again, to Antonio Pierce, like, you're pointing fingers. When are you going to step up? Antonio Pierce and be a head coach. Lead this team. You can't be a leader of men in the locker room and be a rah-rah guy. And, you know, I defended him over and over again when people said Antonio Pierce is just a rah-rah guy. And I'm like, bro, Antonio Pierce is not just a rah-rah guy. He's a damn good coach. But right now, you're letting Luke Getsy make all the calls. You need to put Luke Getsy up in the booth because that seemed to work very, very well with Patrick Graham. They put Patrick Graham in the booth, and look, the defense turned around like that. Maybe he needs to be in the booth. Maybe being on the field is just not his thing. I don't know. Salute to whoever just came in. If y'all don't comment, I don't know your name, but shout out. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. Again, Antonio Pierce has to make choices. Like, I see him talking once in a while on his headset that he wears, but I rarely see him on the sideline going over and talking to the quarterback after they're making bad plays. He's letting, you know, Rick Scangarello do that, and I don't know how well that's working because it doesn't seem to be working for Gardner Minshew. I don't know what, you know, Scangarello and Gardner Minshew's relationship is, but man, he doesn't seem like he wants to play for anybody. He's scared to take shots, and I don't know how many times I got to point it out on film, but check it out. Second episode of What's on Film. Wednesday, we'll break down once again Gardner Minshew, because to me, that was the biggest problem in the game. If you look at the stats, you know, minus the rushing yards, they ran 28 times for 134 yards. We ran, I think, 15 times for 40 something yards, which is absolutely ridiculous. 45 yards, that can't happen. You know, passing yards, they killed us on passing yards, but once again, it was big plays and broken tackles and yak yards. They destroyed us on yak yards after the catch. I don't know how many times guys just couldn't tackle. So, other news, Marcus Epps done for the season. He will not return. He will be replaced by Polamalu, which could be a great thing and could be a bad thing. Polamalu, I love the fact that he's not timid. He's not afraid to run up and hit people. He seems to be pretty good in coverage, but I don't know how great he's going to be back there at running and controlling the whole defense, because we haven't seen him do it except for maybe a couple plays here and there. We've seen him do it, of course, this week, but the defense was already getting smoked, so we don't really know how good he looked out there. But I believe in Polamalu. I definitely love his play style. I think he's way more aggressive and less timid than Epps. You know, I think Epps is a great field general out there. Another thing, while we're on field general, you know, I did an interview with Woo Governor. My man Woo, shout out to my man Woo. I don't know why you're still not on the team, because at least you could tackle. And if we just have problems tackling, put him at safety if he wasn't working out at corner. Even the slot corner, like Nate Hobbs got cooked a couple times for big plays that led to touchdowns, but he made big plays, so he makes up for them. But when you make big plays and you give up big plays, you pretty much just null and void whatever you did in the game, in my opinion. So, communication. But when I had Woo Governor on my show, he said everybody in that backfield. I said, who talks the most and who's the most vocal leader on the defense besides Max Crosby? And Woo Governor said everybody. He said everybody's constantly vocal out there, you know, telling guys where to be. And I don't know, if somebody was at the game, let me know. Could you hear guys talking out there or yelling out there? Because I never see any of our defense pointing fingers, or, you know, once in a while Robert Spillane saying, you know, calling this out or watch this guy if they go in motion. But other than that, I don't see any communication in the backfield, and that's horrible for receivers, corners, and defensive backs, because if you're not communicating and saying, hey, let's double this guy, or hey, let's get this guy, because Patrick Graham, let's be honest, is not always going to call the exact perfect coverage, and you're going to have to adjust on the field and know, hey, look, they send this guy in motion and they were disguising this coverage or they were disguising this play. And I just don't see none of that. I think that's why we're getting beat a lot. Nobody is pointing fingers. They disguise plays over and over again. You've seen they'd wait till the last second like we do, and send a guy in motion. Nobody covers him. They know it's not man, and they pick us apart. And we got to adjust for that. And if we don't make adjustments quick in the defensive backfield and on the line of scrimmage and figure out our identity and who the line is going to be, it's going to be another long week trying to protect our house against one of the best defenses in the NFL last year. This year, they don't seem to be all that. You know, everybody loses pieces. And sometimes just one or two people being lost on your defense can be dramatic, bro. As you can see with a lot of teams in the NFL, you know, losing your defensive coordinator or even an assistant coordinator or just one player makes a huge difference. Sometimes that player is a big piece to that puzzle that a lot of people don't realize until that piece is gone. So I think we need to find those pieces to the puzzle that we had last year and put them back together, man, because, you know, I don't know if it's because the score was so bad and we were down and people, you know, just gave up and lost heart. But getting smoked in our secondary by a man who hasn't thrown an NFL pass in an NFL game in over a year is just absolutely not. I can't even say those words on here, but I'm trying not to cuss. But man, so Antonio Pierce definitely has to make decisions. Gardner Minshew, they've already said, rumors are that Gardner Minshew is going to be the starter going in against the Cleveland Browns at home, the second chance to protect our house. AP's preached over and over again, it starts at home. It starts at home. But I'm starting to stop listening to all this rah-rah shit that he speaks until he shows me something. I'm done listening to we're this and we're that. We're physical, violence, ill intent, Raiders, all that bullshit. I'm done listening to, bro. You're going to have to show me something consistently, and you're going to have to be a head coach, and you're going to have to make decisions with your coaching staff. You're going to have to be like, no, these plays aren't working. Get them out of your playbook and bring us something else in here that's going to work. Bring us something that's going to work for this team. You know, Getsy sat up there over and over again and preached, I don't really know what my system is going to be until I meet all the players and we get on the field. And then I know how to form, you know, my offense around the players. Well, bro, first off, you flipping failed at that. You have not formed an offense around your players. You're running a wide zone gap. You're running a wide zone scheme, or supposed to be running a wide zone running scheme, and you're running nothing but draw plays up the middle, or, you know, hitting the B gap over and over and over again on the same side over and over and over again. You can't run the same play to the same two gaps over and over again. It's never going to work. It's never going to work. So you're going to have to adjust really quick. And Antonio Pierce has to be the head coach. What's good, Nick? Salute. Relax, Mitch. Right? Relax. He's still the quarterback. And we're still going to lose. Because the dude's just not it, bro. I don't care. Minshew fans, I'm sorry to break your hearts. I'm sorry to tell you the truth. It's on tape. I'm not making this shit up. He is not our guy, bro. He is not anybody's guy. There's a reason he's never been the starter except for 1 year. And, bro, it's here, bro. It's here. It's mentally pre-snap reads. Pre-snap reads. He's horrible at it, and that's been his whole career. If you look at his playbook, and Antonio Pierce kind of let it slip when he said, we're not trying to put too much on our offense. Well, come on, man. To me, that means you're not trying to put too much on your quarterback. Just let him play and not have to think. Well, that's not happening, bro. Maybe he's thinking too much, or you need to put more plays so he doesn't have too much time to think, or you just need to tell him specific, like, 2 plays, because we're not running too many different plays. We're running the same plays over and over again. I've seen the same 3 plays we ran in the first game and the second game, ran twice in this game. Same routes exactly. That shit is not going to fly. But almost won with the Colts. Yeah, he almost won with the Colts. He had one of the best running backs in the NFL. And he'll probably maybe be a Hall of Famer if he can ever win or get to the playoffs. But damn. I mean, yeah, he had a good offensive line. He had a system that was not built around him, but it was built for a mobile quarterback to roll out of the pocket and stand in the pocket not very long, and that fit him. This offense is not built for a mobile quarterback. We do not have an athletic enough offensive line or an aggressive enough offensive line to be out blocking for a guy when he breaks out of the pocket. Like, they just stop and they give up. You have to build a pocket around them, and if we let these guys just build a wall around our quarterback, if it's Gardner or AOC, this offense will be fine. There's guys open. People keep scrutinizing this Getsy system. When there's guys open and your quarterback's not throwing it to them, you're not going to have a run game, because if you don't have a threat or a deep threat, you're not going to have a run game. With Aiden O'Connell, there's a deep threat. That's why there will be a run game. And I argued with people in chats earlier saying Aiden O'Connell is not going to give us a run game. He's not going to give us a better offensive line. I totally flippin' disagree with that, because Aiden O'Connell is going to throw the ball downfield. He's going to take attempts, whether they catch him or not, or they get pass interference calls. He's going to throw the ball down the field more than 20 yards. He's going to take shots down the field, and that's going to bring the defense back, because all he's got to do is, 1 or 2 of those completions down the field, not over the middle of the field, like Gardner keeps throwing. Last week I thought he did very well in the fourth quarter, throwing the ball on the sideline. He got a couple penalty calls, but then he totally went away from that. Chris Woodson, what's good? What's good? Shout out. It's your first time in here. Salute, my brother. But yeah, my dude totally went away from that. So, Aiden come in, he walked the ball down the field. He almost threw 2 interceptions. Thank God they weren't picked off, but he forgot about it. He rolled out of the pocket, got away from pressure, showed everybody that he can move on the run, and threw a dime to Trey Tucker, who hasn't been a target hardly at all, who has been open, I've been saying over and over again, and Jacoby Myers. For some reason, Gardner Minshew's target were Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers, and both of those guys were not doubled in this game, and he still couldn't get the ball to him. Aiden needs to play. Chris Whitson, what's good? What's good? Shout out. Yeah, if you're an Aiden OC, if you're an AOC guy, the cerebral assassin, I call him, you came to the right channel, bro, because I've been saying that all year before my man Guard Dog got to start, Aiden is the guy, sorry. Dude, he's definitely the guy. Oliver. I ain't heard him been called Oliver yet. That's a good one. Aiden could call coverage and use audibles and go through reads faster. Way faster, bro. Did you see him? Look, and make a decision. Make a fucking decision. You got to make a decision with the ball. You can't sit there like Gardner Minshew and look, bro. This is Gardner Minshew. Down, set, hike. Run. Like, your second read is like this, and you're looking him away way too fast because the man is open, and there's guys in front of you waving their hands. I showed last week, I don't know if I showed the play. Oh, it wouldn't upload for some reason. I don't know what the hell is corrupt or something. I got to find it again. But there was a play where it was 4th down or 3rd down, and there was 4 guys. We went to a spread offense. There was 4 guys wide open. Gardner looked the whole time at Devontae Adams. Then at the last second, looked to the right, tried to roll out. And Jacoby Myers is over there doing this on the sideline. and he gets sacked, bro. He gets sacked. Like, those plays can't happen. Aiden O'Connell, everybody says was a statue, was sacked 26 times last year. 7 of those were in the first game he ever played in. So minus those, because he wasn't ready and shouldn't have been in that game, he really only got sacked 19 times. But even if you give him the 26 sacks, that's not bad for a four-string quarterback with a makeshift offensive line, because when Aiden O'Connell came in, Colton Miller went out, and they moved Mumford to the right side, and they put in, you know, oh, shit. Some bit the shit out of me. So they moved the offensive line around. They had Luminor over there on the right side, which doesn't really look too bad right now, because even the penalties that he was giving up, at least he wasn't just giving up blatant sacks, bro. What else we got? We have 30 million cap. Please get some help. Bro, that's what I've been screaming too. We have 28 million cap, and we're projected to have $75.8 million in cap room next year. Why the hell aren't we signing somebody? I made a video, go get Hassan Reddick, and everybody's like, oh, Hassan Reddick's 30 years old, he wants 25 million. We played Gardner Minshew 25 million to come in and be absolutely trash, and that's just my opinion. And I don't care what people say, his completion ratio and his stats, bro. Stats lie. When you're throwing the ball to the sideline, or when you throw the ball 36 times and 27 of them are behind the line of scrimmage, to me that's ass, bro. So, there's plenty of things about this team. I said in my video, is it time to go get Hassan Reddick? He's over there. He's not happy with his contract. The man has 50 sacks, 14 forced fumbles, and 228 tackles since 2020. People say he's 30 years old. He's going to be another Chandler Jones. Come on, bro. I don't think he's going to be on that bath salt like Chandler Jones, for one, and wig the hell out. And two, he's way better than Chandler Jones. Like, Chandler Jones was good certain times, but never consistent. He had that one season where the first game of the season he had 5 sacks and then didn't have another sack the whole rest of the year, I think. So Chandler Jones wasn't always that great. I wasn't really impressed when they brought him over. Same with Yannick. He's great at pass rush. He's so at stopping the run. But when he got here, I thought he played well with Max Crosby. And once again, they traded him for a corner and Rock Hossein, bro, who was absolutely garbage. Didn't do nothing for us. Kind of like Brandon Faison, hurt, couldn't cover. So, yeah, we have money. What do you know? Let me know in the chats. What do y'all think about Hassan Reddick? Would you go get Hassan Reddick? Shout out whoever just came in. T Menace, my mod in the building. What's good, my brother? Salute. Thanks for pulling up. Let's see what Aiden can do this year. Bro, we're not going to get that chance. Like, hold on, let me read the rest of it. I bet you will hear surprise over all of us. I know. We lay the house and draft a quarterback after this year. Look, we all want Aiden O'Connell. But there's already reports out that the Raiders have decided Gardner Minshew's quarterback going forward at home against Cleveland, and they're not going to give Aiden a chance. And I don't know if it's pride. I don't know if it's ignorance. I don't know if it's stubbornness. But I know it's absolutely fucking stupidity to see Aiden come in, and you can call it garbage time, but they didn't take their subs out. I mean, they didn't take their starters out. They didn't put subs in when Aiden come in. They had their starters in. They still were running 6-man in the box, and they were blitzing the shit at Aiden O'Connell, and he picked them apart by doing exactly what Andy Dalton did to us, throwing the ball within 3 seconds that he's allowed to throw the ball. We weren't even getting pressure on Andy Dalton, so he was having 5-6 seconds back there, and that you could pick anybody. I don't care. I could pick you. If you give me 5 seconds in the NFL, I will pick people apart at 49 years old. I promise you, I'll put my nuts on that, bro. I don't care. I guarantee you, put me back there. If somebody's got some NFL players and they want me, I guarantee you, dude. Give me 6 seconds. I could throw the ball to somebody open, man. It's 101 football. Football 101. It's not that hard. Minshew will not get us anywhere. No, because he's too streaky, and Antonio Pierce says he doesn't bite his tongue, but bro, you've already bought your brought. I just bit my tongue. You've already bought your tongue over and over and over again, in my opinion. And I'm not going to keep pointing out, the mistakes because it's my coach and I believe in the dude. But come on, man, don't say you don't bite your tongue when you say you don't want to be on a roller coaster ride with your quarterback. And we're on a roller coaster ride. We've been on a roller coaster ride since game one when he started. And the reason we started him was because of his experience, his veteran leadership, and he can make plays with his feet. And that's not happening, bro. Not happening. Hasn't happened at all. I don't think the Raiders can win without Max healthy. I mean, that's another thing. When Max was out there, it didn't look good. But I was really, really, really impressed. And, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm crazy. I'm sure somebody will hit me up in the chats when they watch this later. But I was very impressed with Snowden. I thought Snowden, was starting to work those tackles. He was wearing them down. He was in the backfield. He wasn't, getting there enough to do enough. But, with a little bit more time and I think a little bit more muscle and technique, that dude's going to be dangerous. And, Robinson, too. I thought Janarius Robinson played pretty well. I thought there was times, where he could have made some tackles better or got off his block a little bit better. But I thought he was in the, getting hands in his face and pushing the tackle back. So, there's a lot of things, bro. There's a lot of things. But with Max Crosby out there, we all know without Max, we are nothing. We go where Max goes. That's why I was saying Hassan Reddick, man. Like, bring in Hassan Reddick. Man, it's in the building. What's good with the chat? AP lost fan faith when he still keeps 15 in. No, because half of the fan base is why Gardner is in there. It's this fan base like Chat Sports that says, Mitchell Renz sits up there, and yes, I'm calling you out, Mitchell Renz, sits up there and says, we're the reason why Gardner Minshew's starting. We're the reason why they do this. Our voice is heard. We do this because we have all these followers and our subscribers are heard. Well, bro, if that's the case, you're the fucking reason we're losing, Mitchell Renz. I'm going to say it right now. Quit taking all the credit for we're the reason that Gardner Minshew's in there. Our voice was heard. Yeah, bro. And look where it's gotten us, bro. Look where it's got us. I just say gotten us. Where the hell did my English come from? Definitely. Look where it's got us, bro. It's absolutely nowhere. Which, I think that's an absolute joke. But yeah, somebody sent me that shit the other day. And I was like, what the hell? Come on, bro. If you think you have that much pull on YouTube that these coaching staff, our owners are actually listening to anything you have to say, bro, you're hiring me. All the management coaches will go down. I know. They're going to go down with the ship. Thank God we're Raiders, right? And it's a pirate ship. Because they're going to go down fighting with the ship, bro, because of stubbornness. AP is, his stubbornness, bro, is going to end him. I'm telling you, like, you can't sit up here and preach all this bullshit, rah-rah. And like I said earlier, nobody was in here, but I defended the dude when, people would say AP's just a rah-rah coach. He's not a head coach. And I was like, no, you're wrong, dude. He's not. But then I go back and watch interviews where he says, this is a players' league, and I'm going to let the players captain the ship, and I'm going to let the players run the locker room, and I'm going to let the players discipline players when they're not doing their job and speak their mind. Isn't that your fucking job, bro? What is your job? So what are you actually getting paid to do as the head coach? You're just getting paid to oversee and, slap people on high fives, when they're out there stretching and, pump them up a little bit, tell them they're the guy. And let them run everything, bro, because that is not working for this team. If the guys are running it, That's not working. If the team, if the other coaches, you letting the coaches coach, you're gonna have to step in and being like, look, your coaching style is not working. The defensive backs, they can't tackle. You're gonna have to break down the fundamentals 101 and go back to learning how to tackle, because we can't tackle anybody. We can't let our last line of defense be our worst tacklers on the field. We let guys like Woo Governor go, who was our leading tackler in preseason, and yeah, you can say it's preseason, but it's still preseason. It's still game. It's still NFL players. It's still kids that are fighting to make rosters. So I was very surprised when he was cut, and I'm very surprised he's still not picked up. I'll say it again. Hate to keep repeating myself, but man, when we got guys out there that can tackle, what's the other safety? Chris Smith. I thought did they bring him back? I think he's on the practice squad. Move him up, because Moreg's not doing it, bro. He's not, he's getting beat. He's not tackling. He's running up to guys and trying to rip the ball out when somebody's holding them up. You know what most safeties do in the NFL when the whistle's not dead and somebody's got a guy wrapped up? Boom! They're trying to take that dude's head off. These dudes don't have that killer instinct. They don't have that mentality. And maybe AP, made the wrong choice, or maybe he's not a good pick of character. I thought there was a couple guys on this team that should not have made the roster and shouldn't have made the practice squad. And it's starting to come around that maybe those dudes should have stayed on this team. Marshawn McCall, I thought Marshawn McCall was definitely doing well in the preseason, at trying to stop the run or at least slow down the run. He's not the greatest tackler, but at least he's a big body out there, and, he's clogging up holes and clogging up gaps. But fundamentals, how the hell did we go from how the hell did we go from a team that all these reporters that we're talking about, the Raiders have taken, and Antonio Pierce, he said, we've taken over 1,000 snaps, we've taken over 1,200 snaps, we've taken over all these snaps with all these pads on, and look at all our guys that are hurt. Like, was it worth it to be out there banging and smashing? Because I don't think that worked. It wasn't, intensity. Well, I guess it is intensity but I think a lot of these guys are banged up, and they're not willing to go out there and tackle because a lot of them are hurt. And I think it's because of the off season. I think they put too much on them out there in pads, 2-a-days, working at nights, smacking around, when a lot of teams weren't working that hard. A lot of teams preseason and training camp was way less than ours. So maybe that's taking a toll on these players and it's catching up to them. But it's too late now, and we don't have depth. Depth is a key problem. We have a lot of depth on the defensive line, but we don't have anybody to replace Max Crosby. We would have been fine, I think, but Malcolm Kuntz was still in here. But losing Malcolm Kuntz, Tyree just coming back, and then Max Crosby having a high ankle sprain is, Max is going to be in there if he can be in there. But should he be in there? Let me know if y'all think Max should be in there with a high ankle sprain. If he's not 100%, is it worth risking Max Crosby's health to defend our house against the Cleveland Browns? I mean, we definitely can't. We definitely cannot afford to start out 1-3 with 2 losses at home, bro. That's going to be devastating for the fan base, for the players, for the locker room, for the coaching staff, for AP, for the media, for Mark Davis, bro. It's going to be nasty for everybody. What was a good point? I don't know. I'm just rambling because nobody's in here. I don't know it. I don't know it. Maybe I pissed some people off. Maybe people don't like my takes. Maybe people don't like the fact that I'm right sometimes, or a lot of time, but people just stop coming in my lives. Shit, I had a couple lives, there'd be like 400 people in here. Now I got like 5. We didn't mention another problem, Tyree. All right, well, let's break down Tyree Wilson then. I thought Tyree Wilson, for coming off a knee injury and missing most of the week in practice, played pretty well. I thought there was a couple times, there was one play particular, a touchdown, where he totally beat his man and got drugged to the ground. Was a horse collar, but then he let go, and the man pretty much drug his nails all the way down his jersey, held on to his jersey, and then tripped him by his feet. So it would have been a sack because Andy Dalton didn't see the dude. And then Max Crosby on the other side had his arm pretty much tied up behind his back and was getting held. And it ended up in a touchdown. So I thought that was bullshit. There was a couple calls where Max was just getting brutally held. I thought Tyree was held a couple times. I thought he had some good pressures, though, on the run plays. There was a couple times, and I'll, come back on Wednesday. We'll break down tape, and I'll show all this so you don't think I'm crazy and I'm just out here mumbling, don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But Wednesday, we'll break down tape. There was a couple times where Tyree had a tackle, and his own player took him out of the play. And a couple of those times, one of those times was Jenkins and Masterson. We'll get to Masterson because I thought he played pretty well also. Way better than Divine Diablo, in my opinion. But there was a couple plays where Jenkins, was getting blocked. We had him stopped for a loss. Tyree was going after the quarterback, which I don't know why he was going after the quarterback. It was a blatant handoff, but he made up for it. He caught up to the play. He was going to have a tackle for a loss, and Jenkins just leveled him. Which I don't know why we're tackling our own guys, but that's kind of just the way the whole entire day went. But other than that, man, I thought, Tyree's coming along. It's going to take some time. He's got to have to learn technique. But he's definitely, was until the knee injury. I thought he's not going to get enough snaps to produce like people want Tyree Wilson to produce. Tony the Legend, what's good, what's good? It's your first time. Hit that like button. Welcome. Appreciate you pulling up. But Tyree Wilson, bro, he's not going to be the guy that we expect him to be or that the nation expects him to be. Because he's not going to get, now he's going to get a hell of a lot of snaps because now you got Max Crosby with the high ankle sprain and you got Malcolm Kuntz out for the season. So now Tyree Wilson is going to get a whole lot of snaps. So he's definitely going to get better with time, hopefully. But his speed, his get off has to be better. But in the run game, I thought he helped in the run game a lot. I thought he was definitely a force to be reckoned with out there. He was making the running back, even if he wasn't getting the tackle, cut inside, and guys were still missing tackles. Good teams don't get beat by bad teams. Yes, they do. They do all the time. I've been subscribed for a while. Shout out. I never see you in my lives, man. Appreciate you pulling up. But good teams get beat by, good teams get beat by shitty teams all the time. And if you don't believe me, look at the Patriots in the first game. Look what they come out and did to the Bengals, right? They surprised the hell out of some people. Did they go on a win streak? Did they come out and dominate? No. Look at them now. They're not out there winning games. Now they don't know who their quarterback's going to be, just like we do when they thought they knew who their quarterback was. So now the Patriots have problems. Let's go back to yesterday when the Denver Broncos came out and just stomped that ass of the Tampa Bay Bucks, who were 2-0, and Baker Mayfield was out there just throwing dimes for touchdowns all over the field. So good teams do get beat by shitty teams. It happens all the time. It's any given Sunday. And there was just a let up. There was a let up all around. And I think after the first two touchdowns, or after the third touchdown, they knew there was no way Gardner Minshew was going to bring him back. And that's just my honest opinion, because I knew right away there's no way Gardner's bringing us back. He just don't have it in him. Good teams to lose to any team, but we got trampled yesterday. I disagree on the trampled part. I'll have to disagree. Yes, they put up a gang of points. Yes, they ran for 134 yards, but we have the worst run defense in the National Football League, 28th. So we're up there on the top. We're not wearing down any of their defense because we give up on the run. We can't run the ball 13 times and expect the Zeus or Madison to have a 100-yard rushing game. That's just not going to happen in this offense or any offense of scheme, whether it's power or zone blocking. And I don't think we got trampled. Go back and look at the stats. Gardner Minshew's numbers were not great. 212 yards passing. But if you look at all the fucking guys that were running downfield wide open with their hands up, when a receiver puts his hand up, that means something. It means I'm open, throw me the damn ball. And if your quarterback don't throw him the ball and take sacks, those are plays that look bad. Those are plays that make us look like we got our ass beat over and over and over again. Yes, we couldn't run the ball, but like I said, 13 attempts. Nobody's going to get a run game with 13 attempts. So once we were down, we went away from the run, but we still could have tried to run the ball, outside. Why are we running wide zone if we're not running outside of the tackles? Can anybody tell me any time this year that we've ran a play where we've tried to run the ball outside of the tackles? I know guys have cut and tried to break it outside of the tackles, but I don't believe that play was called to run outside of the tackles. Our receivers blocking, man, our receivers just gave up in the second half blocking. Devontae Adams, in particular, I seen on the tape that I watched already, that I've gone through 3 times, just kind of went to block his guy, and his guy just pushed him out of the way, and he just that was it. He didn't even try to run or reblock, or he's just like, whatever, fuck, I don't care. But that's what happens when you're the best receiver in the NFL and your team don't play up to your standards, right? I mean, he's told us over and over and over again, the quarterback don't play up to the standards. The team's not playing up to his standards. That's why he was mad last year, and that's why he's going to continue to be upset this year, because Gardner Minshew will never, ever be able to play up to Devontae Adams standards. And I don't care what he says about the coming along, the chemistry's getting there. He's never, ever been happy with that dude, and you can see it. You can see it when they ask him about Gardner Minshew. You can see it last year when they asked him about, or in preseason and training camp when they asked about Gardner, and he just started talking about Aiden O'Connell about out of nowhere. So ridiculous. Still no Minshew benching yet. Yes, it's fucking Jason Lockwood. What's good? And apparently he's still going to be the man going into next week. John Gruden was the last hope I had. Oh, man. John Gruden is the last hope everybody had. No, John Gruden, man, it's just a bad situation, right? It was a bad situation. But let's be honest with ourselves. Or I'm going to be honest with myself. And I'm going to say this. For me, y'all can feel about how you want to feel, but John Gruden, bro. After the whole Tampa Bay thing, I was done. I was done. I was done with that. When you make us look like shit, you can't say once a Raider, always a Raider. When you run up the score on your team, our ex-team, in the Super Bowl, he had the game beat. There was no reason for him to run up the score and make us look like ass out there. And they just kept pounding and pounding away, knowing that we had no chance of stopping it. They knew everything we were running. We were running his playbook. And, bro, I lost all respect for that dude after that. Yeah, he's a great coach. Yes, he did well with, the teams that he had. But, bro, nah. John Gruden, the first time was good. Rich Gannon days, I loved it. After that, when he came back the second time, it just wasn't the same. He had his whole speech when he took over. I'm not into, players have dreams. I'm not into dreams. I'm into making effing nightmares. Well, bro, you made some nightmares for yourself by emailing stupid shit, bro. So yeah, man. Ridiculous. What else? What else? What else? That's it. So let me know. What do y'all think about this offensive line? Somebody, who's your offensive line? Do you think it should be, or I don't know. Who do you think it should be? I'll give you three choices. You can type 1, 2, or 3. You think it should be the line we had before, minus Munford, because absolutely, I don't know what his status is yet. So DJ Glaze, Parham, the man that is killing us, and Andre James, Whitehair, Colton Miller. Or do you think we played better in the fourth quarter with the line that we had in with Colton Miller, Whitehair, Andre James, JPJ, and DJ Glaze? Or do you think, number 3, trying to figure out how, okay. Number 3, Parham at center. Yes, Parham at center. Parham at center. JPJ, where he was, played pretty good, right guard. Next to DJ Glaze. JPJ next to DJ Glaze. And then just continue with Whitehair and Colton Miller until they get their shit together over there, because it looked like they were starting to build a little chemistry to me. Like, they weren't great, but when it came to zone blocking, it seemed like, they were moving guys out of the way. They knew which guys they were supposed to be blocking. So I'm gonna tell you my offensive line because nobody's answering me. What else we got? What changes are we going to see in week 4? We're not going to see any changes. We're going to hear talk from AP talking about he wants change. We might see some player changes, but I think it's all talk, bro. I'm starting to. I'm done with buying in to the bullshit talk from now on. I'm from the Missouri State, bitch. Show me state. That's where I'm from, the show me state. So you're gonna have to show me from now on. Talking was cheap yesterday, it was cheap today, and talk's gonna be cheap tomorrow, and it's gonna be cheap every other day. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what changes to expect, to be honest with you, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. I think JPJ is gonna start. I'll give you that. I think Gardner Minshew is going to come in and not pull the trigger, and it's going to be the same old thing. House Junkies, what's good? What's good? KM is hurt and not ready. Bro, we know Colton Miller's hurt, but he looked pretty decent in this game. I mean, at least he wasn't giving up 3 sacks and 4 pressures, right? So that's a start. We have to take that with with a grain of salt or with a grain of sugar. I don't know, but that's definitely a start. And he'll get better, man. Colton Miller's just gonna get better if he's healthy. I don't know. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't see him raising his arm above his head too much. And if you ever had a shoulder injury, bro, you can't raise your arm above your head. So yeah, to me, it doesn't look like he's completely 100% healthy. But it looked like he's showing flashes a little bit last week, not in the run game, but I don't see him running the ball to the left. I don't see him running the ball to the left-hand side hardly at all, which I'm not understanding that at all. The changes I want to see, I just told you I would. I think there's a reason why JPJ was put on the right side, and I'm going to give you my opinion, next to DJ Glaze, because Mumford's going to be out, probably for this game for sure. But they were roommates, in the offseason, and they did, DJ Glaze was a big part of why JPJ is up to speed with the offense, because they studied together, and they even talked about it in pressers. You know, they became pretty good friends, and then when they went to Costa Mesa, they were roommates there. So the whole time they were in Costa Mesa, they were hanging out together, doing film together. So they have a little bond and a little chemistry there, and I think that's what this offense was lacking. And I'm sure everybody in the chat can see that's what the offense was lacking, was a bond and a chemistry. And I think that kind of showed, when he was in there, the 21 snaps that he played. I think he played very well. I think he helped out DJ Glaze a lot, and DJ Glaze looked better with JPJ next to him. And if that's the case, then let's take a shot and get Andre James the hell out of there and put Mumford in. Parham in, because Parham played pretty damn good at center when JPJ was hurt. So let's go with that. That's what I would like to see, just to see if it works. What's it going to hurt? Come out in the first quarter, a drive or two, and if the drive goes well, okay, the drive's not going to go well because we have Gardner Minshew and he's not going to pull the trigger. And I'm just going to keep saying this, bro. I'm going to keep saying this. Gardner Minshew will not throw the damn ball to the wide open guy because he doesn't have faith in himself or his receivers or his offensive line. And Aiden O'Connell showed that he had faith in his receivers, his offensive line. Definitely showed he had faith in Trey Tucker to put that ball in the end zone, rolling out, which was a great route by him. He ran like he was running a dig, and then it was kind of like a zigzag dig to an out, which I thought was, or an in to an out. So it looked like he was running an in, and then he cut back and ran it out. And if you look at the route on the touchdown, Jacoby Myers ran the exact same route. I thought that was a very good play call by Luke Getsy, because both of those guys were wide open, and Aiden O'Connell could have threw it to either one of those receivers. Michael Mayer had his guy completely cooked, was wide open, and so did Trey Tucker. And, to me, he put the ball exactly where he needed to do. Yes, he had a bad throw that could have been intercepted on the drive, but it wasn't. We move on. Gardner had plenty of plays that could have been intercepted. He started out a game with a fumble. Nobody said shit about that. But then people want to come in and say, well, what about the pick that he almost had? If butts were blunts, we'd all be stoned. That's what I'm saying. So my 2 cents, what's good? What do you think we need to do? My 2 cents. What's your offensive line? Let me know in the chat. And do you think Gardner still deserves to be starter, or should coach make a decision and go with AOC? Now, rumors are that he's already going with Gardner. Gardner will remain the starter until further notice. That is the reports that I get, and that's what I heard. Free AOC 12, Luda in the building. Let me type that in there too. Free the, yeah. Oh, fuck it. Free AOC. Definitely free AOC. But they're going to keep him handcuffed. They're going to keep him over there with his helmet on the whole entire game. Just hoping he can come in and drive us down and score again. That was disgusting, bro. That was just whack, bro. Whacked. Salute to everybody for pulling up. I appreciate y'all showing love. It gets rough talking to yourself. Go with AOC. Definitely. Free AOC 12. Cowtown Luda in the building. We already know what he's about. What time he's on. Forget Gardner. Yeah, Gardner's trash. Salute my 2 cents. What else we got? Just a bunch of suits. Free OC. That was me. That was me. I was confident that AOC would be our starter, considering what? The climate last year? I would give Aiden O'Connell an A. Bro, you and a whole lot of other people that know football, I mean, if you could sit there and watch tape of Aiden O'Connell and look at some of the passes he made for a fourth round pick who didn't get any play time until he was thrown into a fire, and tell me that dude does not have potential to be a starting quarterback, you're smoking that bath salt like Chandler Jones, bro. I'm telling you, that's it. You're smoking that bath salt. Hit the like button. Yeah, for real, for real. Hit the like button. If you ain't already subscribed to the channel, sub to the channel. If you would like. If you don't, then don't. Shit, whatever. And to clarify, the only almost threw one pick. The other pass hit Mayer in the hands. I know, but bro, both of those, there two balls could have been picked. They could have been picked. Could have been intercepted. But the point of it was, my man didn't let it bother him. He didn't let the sack bother him. He took the sack. He got up. He threw a dime. He threw another dime. Quick release. This AOC. Like, quick release, bro. That's what you got to have. You got to have quick release. And Gardner showed that shit in the offseason. He looked like he had a quick release, but right now, it looks like he's high as hell on some mushrooms. And the receivers look like 10 people. And he's like, again, I'm just saying. To me, that's what I see from Gardner Minshew. It looked like he got one of those dispensaries, got a hold of some shrooms, and he's seeing like 15 colors out there. Because why the hell can you not see the open man, bro? You're not that short. Like, you're 6'1", whatever, 6 foot. There's lanes, there's passing lanes. You're a mobile quarterback, or a so-called mobile quarterback, to get the fuck out of the pocket, roll, and throw the ball. And he's not doing that. So until he does that, we will continue to lose games until he gets his balls and they drop, which you think at 26 your balls would already be dropped, bro. But until he has faith in himself, bro. AOC, salute, Austin. Austin, what's good, what's good? Thanks for pulling up. Until his balls drop, bro, we're just going to continue to be trash. And we're not going to have an offense. We're going to have a roller coaster ride that AP swears up and down he doesn't want, but continues to allow. How are you going to stand there on a podium and say, I don't want to be on this roller coaster ride? Well, then you're the coach. Get the fuck off the roller coaster ride if you don't want to be on it. All you have to do is pull the plug and say, bro, we're going with this dude because you're not cutting it. And if you could sit in the film room, and maybe AP's not in the film room, because to me, he's not doing any coaching job, but standing on the sideline and once in a while talking on a headphone. I don't see him over there yelling at players, talking to coaches. You know, last week at the end of the half, he went over there and said some shit to Luke Getsy. But other than that, bro, every time they show AP, he's like, dude, stop looking around. Stop looking like somebody just stole your girlfriend. And get your head in the game, bro. Pull your head out of your ass and lead this team. Like, you were brought here to be a leader of the nation, bro. And you're not being a leader. You've already said over and over again, I'm going to let my coaches coach and my players run the locker room. That's not working for us, bro. You need to coach your coaches and coach your players and coach the locker room if we're going to win. Because to come in and get our asses whooped and handed to us by the Carolina Panthers and a quarterback that hasn't thrown a snap in an NFL game in over a year, and before that was a backup and hasn't been a starter in I don't know how long, and you just come in and walk all over us when your former head coach is supposed to be AP's mentor. How does this happen, bro? How does it happen? Until the line is solidified, feel AP will continue to roll with Minshew, but there will come a time to give it over to Aiden O'Connell. Look, he drove down the field at the end of the game, and I know people are going to say it was garbage time, but I'm going to continue to say this. They didn't take their starters out. They had their starters in. They had 6 men in the box. They put pressure on Aiden O'Connell. They weren't playing no fucking prevent defense. And he came down and drove down the field with the same offensive line. So what is the problem? What offensive line? Gardner's not mobile and he's not making plays with his legs. So what is AP seeing? I don't understand what he sees where Gardner's helping us out. He's not helping us in any situation. Yes, he came down and made some plays in the fourth quarter, but that was out the window this game. D was a major letdown. I know, we'll get to that too. The defense was absolutely horrible. Or were they? Or were they? Time for JPJ and Glaze to rise, right? On the same side, apparently. We just talked about it. They were roommates. They got that little chemistry and bond, and I think they're going to go with that. But where's that leave Parham? What are we doing with Parham? Is he taking over at center? Is he going to take over for Whitehair and go back to the left guard where he was last year and played okay? I mean, I thought the whole reason we moved him to the right guard is because that was his normal position, and that's where he plays. I mean, that's where he was more comfortable, but it didn't look that way to me. I mean, it did look that way to me. He was our best offensive lineman out there all 3 weeks, and they take him out and they put JPJ on the right guard, and they put Parham on the bench. I don't understand that. I still don't understand it. The coaching is starting to get to me, bro. The coaching decisions, the stubbornness of not wanting to be wrong, of not willing to admit your mistakes, because a real man stands on 10 toes and said, look, I was wrong. I made a mistake. That ain't working. We're going with this. But he hasn't done that. He pointed the fingers at the players, saying some people made business decisions. He's pointed his fingers at the head coach. He's pointed his fingers at the offensive line. He's pointed a finger at the running back. Bro, he's pointed his finger at everybody but Antonio Pierce, that's supposed to be the head coach, that's supposed to run the team. Stop playing. AP got the job and turned into Antonio McDaniels. Bro, I don't think he could ever be Dick Daniels. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's still my head coach, bro. Don't talk about my head coach like that. Oh, Con All 12 found Myers, which Minshew can't seem to do at times. Not only did he find Myers, but he found Trey Tucker for a touchdown, bro. Trey Tucker that's been running routes, like nasty routes, over and over and over again. And if you haven't watched my film breakdowns, join me Wednesday in 2 days, and we will break down Gardner again. But we'll try to do it live this time if I can get this little scriggly fucking thing to work. If not, it'll be a video Wednesday. But I'm going to break it down again. I broke it down last week. Bro, Gardner has guys everywhere. Trey Tucker has been running crisp, nasty routes, just cooking his guy. But a couple times he hasn't had his head turned around and looking for the ball, which is a big problem. We'll get to that. But he's had his guy cooked, and Gardner Minshew just doesn't trust in his ability. And I keep repeating myself and stuttering, repeating myself and saying the same thing over and over again, but it just comes back to the same thing. That dude doesn't trust his arm, bro. It's just a fact. He doesn't trust himself. Until he does trust himself, man, it's going to be a long-ass season. Zero accountability, right? Take accountability, bro. Man the fuck up. Be a man. Say, look, I made the wrong choice at offensive coordinator, if that's how you feel, and appoint somebody to offensive coordinator, because last year we went 5-4 with Antonio Pierce with a makeshift coordinator, with a makeshift offensive line. So what is the problem this year? We're supposed to have better players. We're supposed to have a better offensive line. We're supposed to have better coaches. We're supposed to have a better quarterback, and we have an ass team that can't score points unless it's fourth quarter. Like, we have a kicker that's supposed to be the best kicker in the NFL that's missing kicks from 40 flipping yards out. I don't understand. So, yes, we have a lot of things that need to be fixed, but none of those are going to be fixed until our head coach takes accountability for his actions. And his actions are absolutely no actions. He's not disciplining the players. He's not disciplining the coaches that I know of on the sidelines during the games. I don't see him talking to guys and saying, hey, calm down or settle down. I've never seen him once because, look, Patrick Graham can't rally the guys over there and say, hey, all right, calm down. This is what we're going to do. Settle down. Let's get our heads in the game. That has to be Antonio Pierce's job. Yes, Patrick Graham's the defensive coordinator, but the man's up in the booth. When you're up in the booth, you can't be on the field rallying the troops. Let me know, has anybody seen Antonio Pierce rally the defense and bring the defense over there? Because there's no defensive coordinator out there on the field. You have assistants. Who's the guy that's going over there and talking to these guys and saying, hey, look, settle down, stay in your gaps, stay in your lanes, keep your technique. I mean, I don't see that happening. When I see guys over there pouting with their heads down and nobody over there talking to them. Like, to me, that's not the chemistry or the brotherhood or the camaraderie or all this shit that everybody's been talking, right? Like, it's all been talk, bro. It's all been talk. Okay, no, what's good? So, yeah. Until Antonio Pierce takes accountability and makes right decisions and admits he's making wrong decisions, bro, it's going to be a long, long season. But it's going to be one of those seasons that we're going to be just good enough that we don't get a decent draft pick. We're going to be drafting about the same spot, somewhere in, 12, 13, maybe even 15 if we get lucky. And that seems to be the norm, bro. So far, it's a whole rah-rah with the culture change. It's a whole rah-rah with the new mindset. And that's all bullshit until somebody shows me something and we actually go in there and dominate some games and win some games we're supposed to. But the fucked up thing is there's no games on the roster left that we're supposed to win, except for the Broncos. But if they keep playing like they're playing, we're not going to be expected to win that game either. Charles Woodson already said, bro, he don't want to coach. He's got too much going on with his Woodson whiskey. He loves the Raiders. He's at the games, but he just don't have time to be there. But, man, if I had a chance to coach the Raiders, I don't care what was going on. That would be number one priority for me, especially if my team was getting cooked in a defensive backfield and they could use my help. Hell, that's where I'd be. What else we got? I doubt Raiders even win 3 games with the O-line as long as... Bro, the O-line is not the problem. I'm telling you guys. Listen to me. Please listen to me. This O-line in pass protection has been just fine. The problem has been the quarterback not staying in the pocket to throw the ball to the receivers who are wide open. And if you don't believe me, come back Wednesday when we break down tape, dude, and I'll prove it. The guys are open. You just have to have a quarterback that's willing to throw the ball. You can't pump fake. You can't look one guy down the field, look over, and then look back and throw it real quick to him like he did Devontae. The one ball he caught got knocked down. The other ball should have been intercepted. He got lucky as hell. Those plays can't happen. When you got guys wide open waving their hands and you're taking a sack, that is just nonsense and uncalled for. And for any coach on that team to sit in there and watch film and say this shit can be corrected is high. And you're lying to yourself, bro. You're fucking lying to the nation. You're lying to your football team, and you're lying to yourself because you can't fix stupidity. You can't fix vision. You can't fix courage. Like, these are things that can't be fixed, bro. They're not things that are given. Right? It's a dream job, bro. Like, you're an alum. You're a Raider till the end, and you see another. I'm gonna call out all these ex-alums. Howie Long, bro. Like, why ain't you in there, coaching some kind of part of the defensive line? Like, get off Fox Network. Come to the Raiders, bro. But they ain't gonna pay him as much money, I'm sure. Like, that's probably why. But man, Richie Incognito, he showed up. He did a little bit with JPJ, did a little bit of work, and then we ain't seen nothing, nothing about him. I'd like to see Richie Incognito. He said he wouldn't mind coaching and get into coaching. Get your ass in there, bro. Get in there, yell at these guys. James Gregg is not it, dude. James Gregg is, he was an assistant. I made a video that James Gregg was going to be our secret weapon. And I should probably take the video down because, shoot, I feel like shit for even saying that. I thought this dude was going to come in from the Chargers. From the Chargers. What the fuck did I say? I thought he was going to come in from the 49ers where he was an assistant, offensive line coach. He wasn't the offensive line coach, but he was an assistant, right? An assistant, you're there. You know how it's ran. You see the schemes they run. They run the exact same shit as we're running. Wide zone blocking, a whole lot of 12 personnel, a whole lot of 11 personnel. And I thought James Gregg was going to come in here and run this, tighten the ship up, kind of like the 49ers was. And he's just not doing that, bro. Like, I don't know if it's above his head. He just can't whip it into shape. If, I don't know what the deal is, but the offensive line definitely seems to be out of touch. And it should not take this long for any offensive line to gel or to be in sync with each other. Like, you're professional. You're the one percenters. You're the best of the best. And if it takes 4 weeks in the NFL to come together as an offensive line, maybe that shouldn't be your offensive line, right? He doesn't even know which players should be starting in the positions. That's what I'm saying, bro. Antonio Pierce doesn't know. But you have guys like Marvin Lewis and Tom Coughlin who's not there. He's on speed dial. So if he's not there in practice, he can't say, hey, this guy shouldn't be in there. But Marvin Lewis has been around long enough. Joe Philbin has been a head coach. He was the coach for the Dolphins. He's been an offensive line coach. Salute Lawrence. What's good, what's good. So, you have Philbin in there who's been a head coach, who's done that, been there, done that. Yeah, they didn't have a greatest team in Miami, but they weren't bad. He wasn't a bad head coach. So he knows how to coach offensive lines. He knows how to run an offensive system. He knows the ins and outs. He knows personnel. He should know what personnel works and doesn't work. The man was great in college, so I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, bro. I preached over and over again and stuck up for this coaching staff when people said our coaching staff was the problem and they were trash. But if you look at the defensive side of the ball, there's over 100 years experience. If you look at the offensive side of the ball, there's over 100 years experience. When you have 200 years experience on your coaching staff with a head coach that doesn't have experience, it shouldn't be a hard transition. These guys should be in his ear. Now, maybe Antonio Pierce is just stubborn as fuck and don't want to listen to everybody's advice and thinks he knows it all. And, I heard somebody say this, and I was like, man, this is a hell of a good point. Antonio Pierce got cocky as hell when we beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And you've heard in his interview and you've heard in his press conferences his cocky-ass attitude when they mention Harbaugh. Yeah, but look who's got the job. Look who's standing here. Yeah, well, look who lost to fucking Harbaugh and got your ass beat. Those dumbass cocky comments are not helping this team, bro, and they're pissing me off. You act like you're the man, but you have a team that comes in to their first game in Allegiant Stadium with you as the head coach running the ship, and they just flopped. And that is all on Antonio Pierce. You can say the players gave up. You could say Luke Getsy called a bad game. You could say Gardner Minshew wouldn't throw the ball to the open receivers, which, yeah, that's a lot of it. But when you have a team that quits on you and gives up, that's on the coach, bro. That's 100% on the coach, the coaching staff, Ricky Manning, all these dudes, bro. It's on all these dudes. And I liked Ricky Manning as a defensive back coach, but the amount of experience that we have on this staff for us to be this bad, bro, is is just horrible. Rob Leonard out there with 27 years experience, always making jokes and being funny. Yeah, we get it. You're fucking funny, but dude, can you be serious and teach these dudes and give them some of your knowledge, bro? Don't be out there trying to be buddy buddy with them. And that's another thing, this buddy buddy shit. You're a coach, bro. Don't be hanging out with the players afterwards and try to be their friends, because when it comes down to time to discipline, you can't do it. So you have to draw a line between friendship and coaching. And I think that line needs to be set. I get it. You want to be a player's coach. I get it. You want your players to play for you. Yes, you want your players to respect you. But in order to do that, you're going to have to stand up and take charge of this team and discipline and make changes where they need to be changed. And if he can't, then maybe he is the problem. Maybe it is his stubbornness. Maybe it is his ways. Because when you constantly sit there and say, still to this day, that we're going to be a physical, violent, smash mouth, pound the ball football team, but you don't have a fullback. Come on, man. Teams that are violent and physical, they have a fullback that can come in there and smack people in the mouth, that can open up holes. And we don't have a fullback, bro. We're not a physical team. We don't have a physical offensive line. They all talk like Mike Tyson. They all have soft voices. They're all like, they're not brute physical forces out there. Like, I don't know. Can they be? Yeah, I mean, anything could be taught. But you can't teach intensity, and you can't teach violence, and you can't teach physicality. You either have that dog, physical mentality, killer instinct in you, or you don't. And you can't teach that. Like, people can get it, through trauma and shit like that, I believe. But you can't teach dog. So until that comes out, or we find the offense of pieces that have that dog, why are we not running 12 personnel? Why are we not having our 2 tight ends that are supposed to be these great blocking tight ends help out a quarterback situation a lot more and give him time to throw the ball? Because he won't stay in the fucking pocket. He won't stay in the pocket. So it really doesn't matter. But yeah, bro. Yeah, coaches should be like fathers. Exactly. They should not be your buddy. They should not be your friend. They have to, I mean, you could be friends, but there has to be a line. Like, it has to be a line. You can't be, like, saying disrespectful shit or joking disrespectfully, because that's crossing a line between a father and a parent and a head coach and a player. Like, but I thought, saying players made business decisions and that we will make business decisions ourselves on Monday. Well, Mondays came and gone, and I ain't heard nothing about no business decisions except for Gardner Minshew is still going to be behind center. Antonio Pierce came in a press conference and said, I don't bite my tongue. So what are these changes? What's going on? Are you telling me you're going to put Jackson Powers Johnson in there and take out Dylan Parham, who has played our best on the offensive line and has done nothing wrong? If that's the change you're going with, yeah, bro, I'm gonna have a whole lot of different feelings. I'm not gonna be this quiet. I'm not gonna be this calm in here. I'm gonna have some different feelings, definitely, on my next live, because this shit is getting out of hand, dude. I put all my faith, all my trust, all my time, effort into doing these lives and to come in and talking and to fucking breaking down these videos to just deal with the same shit, dude. It's the same shit. Same shit, different faces. Win games we shouldn't, lose games we should, or whatever, you know what I mean. But man, I didn't think we won last week again. Like, so I'm not really disappointed in the loss because I expected it. I expected this team somehow I just had a gut feeling, and I didn't want to jinx it and say it in my live before the game. But I alluded to a whole lot of things. They had a very solid offensive line. They had two guards that were the highest paid guards in the NFL. They had a tackle that gave up absolutely no pressures to Joey Bosa the week before. So their offensive line had a little bit a chip on their shoulder. You know, they did their job last week and their quarterback didn't. Kind of like our quarterback, you know. The offensive line might not be doing their job in the run game, but they're giving Gardner all the time he needs to make a decision whether he wants to throw it quick or roll out of the pocket and throw on the run. And I haven't seen many throws on the run, but the ones that were called design bootlegs ended up in big plays. Facts, 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 facts. What did Luda say? Gotta try to land Ben Johnson from Detroit. Bro, he's not going nowhere, though. I mean, he might after this season, but I don't know. Maybe if they win the Super Bowl. But when you got a team like that and a chance like that, a loyal, wise man that doesn't give a shit about money or fame, takes the ladder, bro, and you stick with the team you got until they fall apart, you know? So if I was Ben Johnson, I would ride that ship, bro. I would ride that ship in Detroit until the wheels fall off, because that team is stacked from head to toe, and they just need a couple of breaks to go their way, and they definitely be competing. You know, they competed last year. They just fell a little short, but he's got a good thing there. Kind of like Patrick Graham had here, you know. I thought Patrick Graham would stay here and not go take a head coaching job. They wouldn't let him go interview for other teams as a linebacker, which I don't think that would have mattered. I don't think he would have left. He's, you know, he said in his press conferences he's never been happier than coaching with the Raiders. He's never had more fun in his career than coaching this team. But last week was just a total letdown, and I don't think we're that bad. I know we got holes, but I still don't think we're that bad, bro. We just got to make the right choices. The right choices in personnel, the right choices in play calling. You know, Aiden O'Connell, we had 2 first down calls. You know, we went for it twice on first down. Didn't get either. Aiden O'Connell comes in on a 4th and 5 and throws a 16-yard dart for a first down. That was the longest first down play we've had all season. That was his first 4th down attempt. I mean, if these don't give you all the signs, I don't know what does, bro. What do you think about Brady and Buffalo, the OC? Didn't Buffalo dominate again today? I mean, Getsy has a one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but look at the plays he's running. I don't know. I'm not out on Getsy. I'm just not out on Getsy yet. I'm not completely out. And it's because of our quarterback in our offensive line play. Like, when it comes to the run game, our offensive line is soft. You know, they're like a fucking wet paper towel trying to stop a freight train out there. They're not moving guys off the ball at all. They're getting pushed back in the run game. And if you can't move guys off the ball, you're not going to have a run game. And when you don't have a running back that makes quick decisions, kind of like our quarterback, not good at making quick decisions. So when you have running backs and quarterbacks not good at making quick decisions, you're not going to win ball games. You're not going to win many ball games. And until they figure out the personnel, which is obvious, the personnel, they're just too stubborn and too blind to admit it. And I get it. I get it. I know, we're all just talking shit. But you're allowed to talk shit, bro. You're a Raiders fan. I'm sure you've been a fan for a while like me. Like, I mean, when you got that shit that doesn't go away, it's not like I could take off my hat and be like, I'm not a Raider fan, or I could take off this shirt, you know, that I'm rocking on Monday after a loss, you know? You know what I'm saying? I'm a diehard, bro. My shit don't go away. I can't just erase this and be like, oh, we had a bad week. I'm not a fan this week. Nah, bro. I'm a fan every week. Win, lose, or tie. Raiders till I die. So we're allowed to talk shit, bro. We're allowed to talk shit, in my opinion. Like, all the money that I've invested into this team, all the time that I've lost and wasted, all the fucking misery and pain and suffering, bro. If anybody could talk shit on the coach, it's me, bro. It's me. Like, come on. I think 49 years is I don't know how old you are, Cowtown, but bro, I think 49 years of being a Raider fan, shit, I should be getting some free damn season tickets or some shit for all the pain and suffering. Long story short, yeah, don't fix what ain't broken, right? And we looked great at the end of last year. So what changed? We need to change it back. We'll see. When Antonio Pierce was asked that question in his presser today, he said, I guess I'll leave that up there. You know, when AP was asked that question in his presser today, he said last year was last year and they need to move forward. And I'm tired of hearing that last year was last year bullshit, because Zeus, who everybody says is a shitty running back, it's not Zeus, bro. Like, he's not Zeus. He's not breaking tackles because he can't get through the first fucking level. He can't get through the first level because your zone guys with zone, I know y'all know this shit, but for people those don't, zone, you got pretty much two guys on one guy, and they're supposed to move them the same way. But when those guys, two guys are pushing them together where the hole's supposed to be, or your tackles pushing them the same way and not turning them the right way, and then your running back's not smart enough or doesn't have vision enough to make the quick read and pick the right shoulder and just run into your offensive lineman, bro, that's not the play calling. That's chemistry from your offensive line and not having the right personnel to run the system you want to run. AP wants to be a smash mouth, pound the ball down your throat kind of team. We don't have that type of line. We don't have that type of running back. And we sure the hell don't have a quarterback that's threatening anybody to throw deep. Because if you look at the Raiders stats, the longest pass we've had this year is 54 yards to Trey Tucker. That was the longest. The next is 31 yards. And that, I think, was a 9 yards after the catch. So basically the longest pass we've had is less than 20 yards. All the other passes have been yak yards. So we've had one 54-yard pass all season, and the rest of our passes have been under 20 yards if you don't count the yards after the catch. So, dude, what can you do with that, bro? What can you do with that? It's got to be the quarterback, right? I mean, all signs point to the quarterback. Dave Canellas. You see all these coaches now. I'm sorry, I'll read that. Dave Canellas came in and took AP's Air Forces and made AP drive home in his socks, right? Drive home in his Impala in his socks. Man, I'm done with the gangster shit, with the Impala, with the, I'm an OG, but I'm a soft ass coach. Like, come on, man. Make the right choices. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your team. If you don't like Getsy's play calling, then fire him and get rid of him and promote somebody else or bring in somebody else. But do it now, because we still have a shot at having a season. Like, bro, come on. We're only 1-2. Like, it's only 3 games. We play Cleveland. We play the Broncos, who aren't any better. You know, we play the Steelers, who don't really have an offense. We play teams that we definitely could beat on paper. But are we going to come prepared? And is coach going to have us prepared? Because all of this, pad season is done. All that shit's behind us. We're not putting on pads no more, which they might have pads tomorrow after getting our ass whooped like that. But practice time, you don't have much practice time no more. All the practice time we did, and we didn't get anything out of it. We never found out who our quarterback was. We never found out who our offensive line was. All we got was we're going with this dude because of his swagger and he took over the locker room. Like, you could take over locker rooms and get people to buy in, but if you can't throw the ball down the field and you can't threaten defenses with your arm because they know damn well, look, we're not going to they're not throwing the ball past 20 yards. If you look at our defense, our safeties play 15, 20, sometimes 25 yards back. I'm not even kidding. A couple plays, they were like 25, 20 yards back from the play, from the line of scrimmage. Their safeties were no farther than 10 yards or 12 yards every single play. Why? They knew we weren't throwing the ball downfield. So somebody argued with me in the chat and said, Aiden O'Connell is not going to fix our offensive line and he's not going to fix our run game. I totally disagree 1,000%. Aiden O'Connell, or any quarterback, can fix a run game and an offensive line, because if you have a quarterback that's not afraid to throw the ball downfield, and if he completes some of those passes, then your defense has to be honest. They can't line up 8 men in the box, and they have to start covering and being aware of the pass. And Aiden O'Connell could do that, bro. He could throw the ball downfield, and they can make catches. He's shown that plenty of times last year. Over-the-shoulder throws, leading receivers, changing the play at the line of the scrimmage, putting his receivers in position to make plays. I don't see that with Gardner. I've never seen him put any receiver in a position to make a play anytime this year. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. It's happened once before. What the hell is that? Our safeties are average. I know. That's what take over. Marcus Epps he's a very smart, calculated football player, but again, we have to go back to that dog. He don't have that dog in him. I thought there was guys, like I'm gonna keep saying, and it's not just because I interviewed the kid, but Woo Governor, has that mentality and that tackle mentality. He's not afraid to put a shoulder in somebody's gut, and we just don't have guys out there that do that. Marcus Epps runs up a bunch of times, and I said it, you weren't in here before, but when a player has a guy held up and the whistle's not blown and you have a chance to dislodge the ball or smack that dude in his mouth, and you run up to him and stop and just like grab the ball and try to strip it away, pulling backwards, bro, that's soft mentality. Like, I played running back, I played middle linebacker, I played safety. It just depends on where they want me. I played all over the field. I played receiver sometimes. It just depends on what teams we were playing. But, man, I was all over the field. And when I played safety, I was hoping that they would throw the ball up in the air where I would have a chance to to just level somebody when they caught the ball. Or in the run game, I was hoping somebody would grab somebody and hold them up and just give me a shot to come and, just level somebody. That's like a kid in a candy store trying to eat for a safety. But if you don't have that mentality in the NFL, you're going to get walked all over, bro. And you're going to get juked like he has been. Trayvon Moore, that man has been juked out of his shoes so many times. Oh, no. He's going to go broke just buying new tennis shoes or new cleats. I would take Bo Hardegree back in a second. And you can call me crazy. But if you watch the last 4 games of the season, he found his rhythm with AOC and the running game. I mean, just look what he did with Zeus. That was all Hardegree, in my opinion. That wasn't Antonio Pierce. That wasn't anybody else on the coaching staff. That was Bo Hardegree taking a playbook that was this big down to 7 pages and adding his own little twist to it. And once he got comfortable down the stretch of the season, I mean, come on, bro. We beat Kansas City. Yeah, it was our defense. Yeah, Aiden O'Connell didn't throw a pass in the second half. Yeah, blah, 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 that bullshit that they want to talk about AOC. But AOC didn't turn the ball over. AOC drove the ball downfield. AOC put us in position to win. AOC gave us a deep threat that allowed us to run the ball in the second half. and not give the ball to Patrick Mahomes so he can come in and beat us. And people overlook all that shit. And I just don't get it, man. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to this game this week that I'm not expecting anything. Bro, shout out to you for being at the game. Record some pics, send them to my email, RaidersRebel75. I will show them on here and I will give you credit. But man, you should have expectations, bro, because after the ass whipping we got, if you don't go in there with expectations thinking we're going to win, come on, bro. I'm going to be disappointed in you like I am these players, man. You should be going there with all the expectations that we should be dominating this game, because we played like ass last week. And if we don't come in and defend our house and make up for it and show that's not the Raiders, that's not the Raiders way, and that's not our identity, then, bro, we might as well just tank. I'm just playing. That was an absolute flipping joke. I will never, ever, ever say tanking. I just thought it would be funny because people keep saying we should just tank and get a quarterback. Well, all I got to say is y'all are high, bro. If we tank, I'm erasing this shit, bro. I will erase this shit. I will get laser surgery if we ever tank, bro. That is not why I signed up to be a Raider fan for 49 years. And that is not why I suffered pain, misery, joy, happiness, empty wallets, fucking trying to go to games. For us to call it as fucking rap because we can't put the right personnel in the game? Hell no, dude. Hell no. Hell no. By not immediately naming AOC the starter and allowing him the necessary time to work with the starters, AOP held the offense progress back. Yep. Making sure snaps denied both necessary reps. Hey, I've said that in my lives before. I agree 110%, bro. 100%. By not making a choice. And this is the thing that got me. And, you know, I had Chris, shout out Chris from Protect the Shield. But, you know, he came in, tried to call me out, was like, so you're calling AP a liar? Just call him a liar. So I called him a fucking liar because he was lying. Because the man said AOC was our quarterback. He stood on that shit all offseason until like the last 2 weeks. He was like, AOC is the man. There's no, you know, it's a quarterback battle. But until somebody beats him out, we're going with AOC. You had all these reporters, Hondo Carpenter, and all these guys saying it's AOC's job to lose, and if it's a tie, it's going to be Aiden O'Connell. And you know, Antonio Pierce even alluded to it. If Gardner doesn't beat him out and doesn't win the job, it's AOC's job. And you can't sit there as an NFL fan, an NFL enthusiast, or an NFL ignorant person that's never watched the NFL before in their life and put Gardner's tape of the preseason and AOC's tape of the preseason and tell me Gardner beat Aiden O'Connell for that job. If you can, well, damn, I don't know. Like, I don't know what, but, bro, because there's no fucking way. You can't look at those, at their tape next to back, because I've put them back to back and watched them run the exact same plays because they run the same system. So I've watched them run the exact same plays. And there's one dude that runs this offense a hell of a lot better. A hell of a lot better. I know, bro. I was just playing. I was trying to see if the whole chat was awake, but you were the only one that said something. Oh, House Junkie said something too. I got y'all. You see me pause, bro. I was like, dude, nobody's going to say shit. Took y'all a minute. That's all good. AP reminds me of Hugh Jackson. Oh, come on, bro. I loved you, but damn. When he made our coaching game with the punch of the rah-rah when it fizzled. I know. I mean, look, Hugh Jackson, I give Hugh Jackson credit. He had a little bit more coaching experience than Antonio Pierce, right? He didn't have the team that Antonio Pierce inherited. And yes, I'm saying inherited because Antonio Pierce was given an intern, was made head coach from an intern, but he was given a flipping decent, decent playoff caliber team that he's starting to run into the ground, bro. Because unless this shit turns around and we lose games like we lost to Carolina, all these teams we play are tougher than Carolina. Yeah, they don't have the, the thrill factor that they're switching quarterbacks. I mean, some of them might switch quarterbacks, and that was a big key. We'll get to another point I just thought of, but that was a big key. Not knowing your quarterback until, a week before the game and not seeing any tape with him being the starting quarterback makes it very, very hard for a defense to scheme, for a defensive coordinator to scheme. I would say for a head coach to scheme, but I don't think AP has anything to do with any of the scheming. Like, I think all the scheming comes down to the coaches, and I don't really know what his job is at the moment, but to be in meetings, give speeches, and to do interviews. Because so far I'm not seeing him coach. I'm not seeing him on the sidelines. I'm not seeing him throw challenge flags. I'm seeing him making bad coaching calls. I don't know. Something's got to change. Raiders need to play the game like it's their last. Bro, every team should play every game like it's their last. And, Antonio Pierce can come out here and say he doesn't bite his tongue. But, bro, I call bullshit and caps on that. And I'm going to point it out again. Last week, he said there will be changes on this offensive line because he was not happy with the play. There was no changes on the offensive line until Munford got hurt. He came out with the exact same offensive line. He said it was a snap-to-snap basis. And if you wanted to stay on this offensive line, it was on a snap-to-snap basis. We seen Colton Miller give up 3 pressures in a row and 2 sacks last week and never pulled out of the game. So don't sit up here and tell me you don't bite your tongue, Mr. Rah-Rah, and you stand on your ground. And that's not the case, bro. That's not the case. Not the case at all. And I forgot what point I was going to make. Oh, another one. The only thing that Antonio Pierce has done since he got here, this job, is lie and talk out his ass. Yeah, pretty much. And answer questions like he's a gangster, right? With this badass attitude. I don't bite my tongue. Is JPJ going to play? He'll be out there. These short-ass answers are really starting to irritate me. It's like he don't have an answer for it, so he tries to be hard and be tough. Like when you're about to fight somebody and they want to run their mouth and try to get all loud and start talking crazy, try to intimidate you. That's what I'm starting to see from Antonio Pierce. I'm starting to see him trying to intimidate people into believing what he says, bro, and it's not working, bro. Talk is cheap. Like I said, I went shopping yesterday. Talk was still cheap. That shit's gonna be cheap tomorrow, the next day, and every day after. There was no change at all. Facts, Rebel. I know there was no change, and now, Mondays came and gone, and he came up in another press conference and said, "I don't bite my tongue. People made business decisions in the game, and we will make business decisions today." The only business decision he made was naming Gardner Minshew still the starting quarterback, which that's not a business decision because there's no change. He was already starting quarterback, so that's not even a change. We're gonna have a Band-Aid at quarterback. I know. Yep, facts. We're not gonna have a Band-Aid at quarterback. Aiden's QB1 until Minshew outplays him and takes the job. You guys show up and we will show out. Yes! Cowtown Luda in the fucking building. Hold up. Wait, where's I gotta have a sound. Where my sounds at? Oh, it's not even on here. Damn it, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna get this. Raiders! that didn't work. What the hell? Anyway, what the fuck? Oh my man, that was great. That was great. That was great. That's the next title of my next video. You guys show up and we will show out. I forgot about that shit, bro. I appreciate you. That's good shit right there. O-line changes, ill intent, physicality, violence, pain. Yeah, we got it, right? We got all that. Cowtown, my man, bro. I gotta meet you in person, my brother. I gotta go to one of these games. We gotta meet up, bro, for sure. I don't know, bro. I couldn't find it. Fuck, I tried to play it and it was like, I don't know. My shit froze up. I'm lagging on you, bro. I'm lagging. But definitely, you definitely come in on the next live, and as soon as I see you come in, bro, I'll have all the sounds and I will play like 10 of them. I got you. I'm sure. I got you. Where the fuck did the sound go? That's crazy, though. Let me look one more time. Try this one.
Do it, Dad. Get your balls back. 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 Do it, Dad.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened to the sound, dude. That's horrible. I am a horrible DJ. Jesus. But man, yeah, let's just leave that back up on the screen. Like, I'm gonna screenshot that. Right? So yeah, I mean, he's been all caps, dude. He's talked out his ass. Oh, it was working? Oh shit. I can't hear it. I don't know what the hell happened. That's pretty good. It's working though. I don't know where the hell my rant went. But yeah, man, the dude is backtracking, bro. He's half stepping, in my opinion. Like, don't come out here, and I said it, and you know, I had, like I said, you know, a couple content creators called me out. It was like, stand on 10 toes, and I said, bro, the dude ain't been truthful with us, and he's losing my respect little by little by little by little till the casket drops, right? Raiders, but not coaches and not players, bro. Like, I'm about the Raiders, and if you ain't doing it, then you got to go, right? Right? Let's talk more action. I'm from that Missouri state, right? The show me state. Don't talk about it, be about it. Shit, that's where I come from, bro. Straight up, like, Raider family. Don't talk about it, be about it. And so far, Antonio Pierce has been a lot of talk and hasn't been about nothing, bro. You know, like, he takes credit for the defense, the defensive turnaround. Yes, when he took over, he unleashed the reins and, you know, gave Patrick Graham all the freedom. But it seems like he's taking credit for the defense a lot of time. When he's not the defensive coordinator, he's not even calling the plays out there. He's not calling any plays on the field. And I don't see too many coaches that don't have a headset that's not calling some kind of plays or have something to do with the plays. So, like, what's he really getting paid for? What's he really getting paid for? To be a rah-rah guy? Because I have faith in him, bro. Like, I have faith for some reason. I think that, you know, he's just got that dog in him that he can turn it around, but he's got to be willing to give up the stubbornness, the I'm the shit attitude. I got this. Look at me. Like, bro, all eyes are on you, but it's for the wrong reasons right now, my guy. All eyes are definitely on you, and they've been on you since you were named head coach, right? It's about the shield, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, I backed Antonio Pierce. I thought it was a great sign-in. You know, the coaches, the players went out on a limb for this guy. And, you know, I feel bad for players like Max Crosby and Devontae Adams that, you know, go out and be like, bro, if we don't bring this guy back, because nobody's talking shit on these players. Like, they're kind of the reason that Antonio Pierce is the head coach. We had all the chances out to go get Harbaugh. And everybody knows that Harbaugh is a better coach than Antonio Pierce with more experience. He's been there. He's done that. He's won championships. Antonio Pierce ain't done none of that shit. But they didn't even interview him because the nation, including myself, wanted Antonio Pierce. And Mark Davis did what the nation wanted, and now the nation is not happy. And they're calling Mark Davis garbage, calling him names, saying he's a bad owner. When it was the nation that called for Antonio Pierce to be the head coach. And now that he's not performing, or we lose one game to a team like Carolina, there's already people saying fire him, fire Getsy, fire the whole staff. That's not the answer. The answer right now is to come up with a solution to get this team on track and make it work. And I think there's going to have to be changes with Getsy. The passing game is absolute fire, but they won't go with the quarterback that can run the passing game. The run game is trash, and we're going with the quarterback that's supposed to help out the run game by being mobile. And it's not working. So to sit there and say changes have to be made, but you're not making changes, to sit there and say show up and we will show out, man, something's got to happen. Hopefully tomorrow morning we will wake up and we will see that AP is not just talking trash, and he stands 10 toes on ground on his word. And there will be some, I don't know, some business decisions made, right? Some business decisions made. Man, I appreciate y'all coming in here. I didn't know I've been on here fucking 2 hours and 10 minutes. Rambling my ass off. Oh, look at that. I need to get new glasses, dude. See that? I'm playing hurt. I'm playing hurt. Good Lord, that hurts. Take me out, coach. I got a limp. Man, I need to get Stu on here. If anybody knows how to get a hold of Stuart Swaggart, former Raider player, because, man, I got to get that dude on here. He's funny as hell. I got to talk ball with that fool. I hit him up on IG, but, you know how that shit goes. Anybody got any other questions? You got any solutions? Can you tell me how we could fix this team? How about this? Whoever's in the chat, 1 through 10, what is your confidence level in Antonio Pierce as the head coach of this team? Because mine really went from Christmas Day, a 10, Lauren says 6. Mine went from Christmas Day was a 10. When he was hired, it was an 11. A 12. That's over 10 because it was through the roof. That's what I'm trying to get at. I was really, really happy Mark Davis decided to give the nation what they wanted. And I thought Antonio Pierce, and I still believe, is the right man for the job if he can start running this team like a head coach. You're going to have to be involved in the play calling. You're going to have to be involved in personnel decision. You're going to have to let guys go, send guys to the bench, play Amari Gaynor, play Amari Gaynor, play Amari Gaynor. No, it's not recorded. And fucking play Amari Gaynor, bro. The Amari Gaynor came out there, and shout out to Luke Masterson. Come in, showed Divine Diablo how to tackle. Yes, he had one tackle that I seen he missed blatantly. A couple tackles that he ran into his own guys, both trying to tackle him, and the guy got free. But I thought he played very, very well coming in, under pressure, never gave up. Amari Gaynor, when he was in there, was just shining to me. Like, the man's speed, his quickness, Um, his defensive pre-snap, pre-snap reads, reading the quarterback, knowing the play, what's going to come. You can see him already breaking on the ball. Like, I thought he did that in the San Francisco game as well. Amari Gainer needs to get in there. I'm tired of hearing Antonio Pierce with his bullshit excuses. He don't believe in playing rookies because they're not ready. When every other team in the NFL is playing rookies that are producing for their squads, and we have players like Dylan Labe, who is elusive as fuck out of the backfield, who can catch with his hands anything you throw him. He can play kick returner. He can play punt returner. And so far, he hasn't played a damn thing. So these are the changes I want made. I want to see Dylan Labe in the fucking game. I want to see him get some touches. Not just one or two. Not just 3 or 4. But like 10 or 12 touches. I want to see Samir White get 10 or 12 touches. I want to see 30 touches in run game. Like, don't go away from it and see if this offensive line heats up. Because what else do we have to lose? Right now, we're going with the wrong quarterback. We're going with the wrong offensive line pieces in the wrong spots, in my opinion. And we're starting the wrong running back. We're giving Madison way too many carries. He's not producing. People are saying he's the scat back that we need, when the scat back we need is Dylan Labe. He's on the bench. He's the spark plug that I think this team needs out of the backfield, because he's small. He's got way better vision. They played him, in the slot in college. They played him on the outside receiver. They put him at number 1 receiver. They ran him in the backfield. They passed him out of the backfield. This man is a playmaker, and you have to give him a chance to see if he can help this team in somehow, some way. Because throwing the ball to the sideline to 30-year-old Amir Abdullah, who's getting blocking penalties fucking 15 yards down the field, and he's supposed to be a veteran, is not cutting it, bro. So I know all the people are going to hate and say he's not ready, but are our running backs ready? What are our running backs doing now? This is a game. We have nothing to lose. We're at home. We're already on the ropes, So throw these guys in. Let's put in these rookies. Let's see. Damn, what do we got? 6, 9, and a 4 at the moment. Ooh, Tony the Legend, right out. 4, okay. But yeah, let's put these guys in. Let's see if we can get some spark out of these rookies. And I'm saying this. I'm going to say this. If Gardner Minshew does not have over 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in this game in the first half, and they do not pull him, bro, I'm going to fucking lose my mind, dude. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm not going to be like some content creators and be like, I'm going to quit YouTube. This team is trash. They're never going to win anything. We're same old Raiders. Bro, I still have faith. I still believe in this team. And I think we just got caught off guard. Like, if you look at the stats, it really wasn't as bad as it looked on paper. And people look at the numbers and say, well, it doesn't look that bad because Aiden O'Connell scored a touchdown at the end. Yes, it was horrible when it was 27-7. But a lot of those touchdowns were third down conversions that we usually stop people, that turned into big plays and run plays, not tackling, being in the wrong scheme. I'll break that down Wednesday. There was a couple plays where I don't know what defensive scheme we were in, but it's a run play. It's first down. You could tell they're running the ball. They got 2 receivers to the bottom, and we have Trayvon Morig 15 yards off the ball and Marcus Epps 12 yards off the ball, nowhere near making a play. And I don't know, it's just bad coaching, bad decision making, wrong spots, wrong time, wrong gaps, wrong lanes, fucking wrong everything. We finally decided to start 12. Man, I will give him a 5. And if he makes sure Getsy lets Aiden O'Connell air it out and play the rookies, 7. Would like to see Eichenberg in the game. Choose, that's what I'm saying, bro. I agree 100%. Again, you're going to have more buzzers. Wah, 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 wah. I'll get to that shit. I promise it'll be on by my next live. I don't know why. You said the sound was working, right? But I couldn't find a couple horns and shit, but at least the sound was working. I couldn't hear that shit. We can't give them excuses to losing to the Panthers. It wouldn't have been. I would have benched some players too. But really, when you look at, I mean, just look how the game went. Look. And I'm gonna break it all down on Wednesday. Show up Wednesday. I keep repeating myself. I'll break it down Wednesday. But look, they came down. They scored a touchdown, right? We came right back down and scored a touchdown. Then they got the ball. We stopped them, didn't we? Didn't we stop their second drive? Or they didn't come down and score right down. I think we stopped their drive. We got the ball. We had a chance to come take the lead, and we went 3 and out. And we gave them the ball on a short field, and they scored a touchdown. And then we got the ball again, and we threw a 54-yard pass to Tucker, and then we went 3 and out. And then they got the ball again. We stopped them. We got the ball again, had a chance to tie. We had one big play, and we went 5 and out, which means the next play was a first down, and then the next play was a first down, so we got 2 first downs, and then went 3 and out. That's 5 and out. So it's the quarterback, bro. I'm telling you, it's the quarterback he played. The quarterback had guys open. He had plenty of chances. The offensive line gave him time. Though there was time to make the throws that he needed to make. He just didn't do it. And until we figure out the quarterback situation or his balls drop and he decides to throw the ball like he did in the fourth quarter last week, bro, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. And we can't continue. You're right, Luda. We can't continue to make excuses for the team. But I didn't really think they played that bad. I thought they gave up, in the fourth quarter, but I thought a lot of them, stayed in it. They still ran down plays. They still covered. They still made tackles on the defense. The offense was still blocking. They were still running. The quarterback, just wasn't hitting guys. And I can understand completely why Devontae was pissed and why Jacoby Myers was shaking his head on a couple plays, because you're running 2 run plays that go nowhere, and then you're running 15 or 20-yard plays deep, and then you're passing it to the sidelines. So these guys are out there running track, like we're playing it's like we're playing Madden or something, and just sending, running spread every single play and just throwing the ball up for grabs. And he can't throw it that far. Like, he doesn't trust his arm to throw it that far. So Getsy's play system is right. It's just not the right quarterback. And until he adjusts, we're not going to win. We're not going to win in this system with Gardner Minshew. And that's bottom line. That's facts. I'm tired of saying it. I tried to get on the bandwagon. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I even made videos and showed how Gardner Minshew has every opportunity to prove the world wrong, to prove the nation wrong, and to shock the world and play good. And he did it for 7 minutes in one quarter so far out of 12. And I can't sit there and watch and lie to myself like the rest of the nation and a bunch of content creators that saying Gardner's not the problem, when it's absolutely on film Gardner Minshew. It's Gardner Minshew. We had a chance to get back in that game, and we were driving after the touchdown. We had a chance to get back in it, and he throws an interception nowhere near Devontae, and the dude had to dive on the ground to catch it. Throwing fucking balls on your feet, and your coach thinking it's still your starting quarterback. It's just garbage. Bro, I don't know. Whatever week, D-Menace is going to be too late. I'm gonna stand on that. Like, I had us at 13-4, and there's no way that's gonna happen. Like, if we win 10 games, I will shit myself live on stream, bro. I ain't playing. And show everybody. I ain't fucking around. Like, I will do it just to get the views. I could take a shower. I can wash my clothes. Bro, I'll literally shit myself if we win 10 games. Because right now, we don't look like the team that last year. And I know AP said straight out, last year is over. And that's the only thing he's been right about and honest about this year so far. Is, yeah, last year is in the past. And we are not that team. Like, we upgraded at a bunch of positions. And we got worse at some. So AOC, man, like I said, it's gonna be too late, bro. If we lose to the Broncos, there we go. If we beat, even if we win next week at home, and then we go to Denver and lose to the Broncos, they have to put in AOC. You can't continue to say you're not down with the roller coaster ride when you're the one creating the roller coaster ride, bro. Like, you can't be the head coach saying that. It just can't happen. But I gotta get the hell out of here. It's 12:30 where I'm at. I gotta get to sleep. Got works. I didn't like the fact that we signed off on the season and I can't co-sign on this year. Man, I know. Same thing. Like like I said, bro. I tried to get on the Minshew train. I tried to back him because of my quarterback, and I'm still gonna, root for him. But is he the right choice? Let's be honest with ourselves, bro. You can hate on Aiden O'Connell because he's a Josh McDaniels pick. You can hate on Aiden O'Connell because he didn't score any points against Minnesota. You can hate on Aiden O'Connell because he helped us beat Kansas City and didn't turn the ball over, but didn't throw a pass in the second half. But you can't sit here as a Raider fan, as a football fan, as a human fucking being, and look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that Gardner still gives us the best chance to win football games. And if you can do that, then, bro, you are a fucking liar, and you can lie to anybody, and that's the bottom line, bro. Because there's just no way you can't watch film on this team and say Gardner's starting quarterback, bro. It's just not. When you can watch games around the NFL and see guys like Bo Nix make plays with his legs, throw the ball down the field, and you got a guy 26 years old, 27, going into his fifth year in the NFL, couldn't beat out any of these rookies before, didn't beat out Aiden O'Connell, was handed a job, and can't even do enough to manage the game to keep the job, bro. And with that, I'm out. Raiders! Peace out. Much love. I can't say that loud. People are sleeping, but show up Wednesday. We'll break all this shit down. Like, subscribe. Tell a Raider to tell a Raider to tell a Raider to watch Raiders Rebel Unleashed. For sure. Raiders. Same time. Same place. Actually, I don't know. Monday Night Scrutiny might be moved. But I kind of like this time after the game on Monday nights. Break down Sunday shit. But I was trying to do it at 6 o'clock before the game. We'll see to get a little bit more people on here. I guess I was on for 2.5 hours, so that don't really count for much. But again, much love. Love y'all. Have faith. We will get better. I'm not promising shit until we decide the right personnel. Peace.